You want a player who plays like he's got something to prove? Meet Cedric Mullins today on Locked On A's.
You are Locked On A's, your daily podcast on the Athletics, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On A's, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I am your host, Boonie. Yes, we are live, and yes, one name, all passion, and I've been riding with this squad for over 4 decades now. And let me tell you, the A's aren't just some scrappy underdog anymore. We are the storm rolling in from Ricky to the Bash Brothers, from the Big Three to the Vegas Blueprint. This franchise has always found a way to flip the script. And right now, these kids are turning MLB upside down, and the rest of the league cannot stand it. Stick around. We are building a desert dynasty, and you don't want to be late to the party. We are free and available wherever you get your podcast, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button right now and join the ride. And if you are residing in the state of Nevada, catch Locked On A's every day at 12:30, Monday through Friday, not every day, on Silver State Sports and Entertainment Digital Channel 5.2 and Cox Channel 77. Today's episode is brought to you in part by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can bet just $5, and if your bet wins, you will get $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. Download the app today. Mr. Togo, how are you, bud? How you doing, bud? Good to see you, man. We're talking about Cedric Mullins today, Togo. In a market where every dollar has to pull its weight, the A's can't afford mistakes. I like Cedric Mullins. They don't chase stars. They find value where others don't look. And few players embody that more perfectly than Cedric Mullins. I know he had an awful year last year. Big trade line acquisition by the Mets at the deadline and ended up being a flop. But he's a veteran outfielder, and he's finished his stint with the Mets. And come this offseason, now, officially, he's a free agent. And the timing couldn't be any better. He's only 31 years old, and he still runs like he's 25 years old. He plays elite defense in center field and can play one of the corner outfield positions as well. And he brings leadership that this team needs badly. It's not a dream big fantasy move. It's a strategic, realistic move. His wins above replacement still there. It's at about 2.5. He hit double-digit home runs. He swiped 20-plus bases. You could compare his last year very similar to something of a Lawrence Butler, where they both had awful years. And while Butler was 2020, Cedric Mullins was right there. You're getting somebody with a great, great upside. Have you talked to anyone that resembles, have you talked to anyone that resembles a largemouth bass lately? That's a good one. Good one, Toad. Boonie, happy offseason. Gary, how are you, pal? Jay Souls, Boonie, watching these teams in the playoffs thinking we aren't far behind. I know it, guys. Listen, we're also doing a little something different tonight. If you guys rather come on and shoot your questions, click on that StreamYard link. You can use the camera, talk just voice, whatever you like. I'll put you on. Or if you just want to use the chat, you can do that as well. I just want to give you the option there as well. I was hoping I could go with this show without the glasses. I lost my other pair. These ones are absolutely killing me. And here we are. Again, back to Cedric Mullins, guys. As I'm putting this to thought, I'm like, what do the A's really need this offseason? And while it seems like we are, yeah, I know, I missed that threw me off right there, RD. It threw me off. I'm not going to lie. I saw the Togo, and I wanted to say RD, and it threw me off. I'm not going to lie. I was I was a little rattled by that. Yeah, the playoffs are going on right now, but if you really look at the A's roster for 2026 and what we need, again, right now out of the 3 outfield positions, I'm only comfortable with one spot, and that's left field. The idea and thought that we are crowded in the outfield is semi-true. We're crowded with a lot of average to below average outfielders, but with potential that could be very good outfielders. And I think Cedric Mullins adds that as well. Cedric Mullins right now, due to his awful 2025, you can get him on the cheap. Right now, Spot Track has him valued at around $6.1 million a year, which means the A's probably going to need to sign him, let's say, to a 3-year, $27 million deal, maybe with a 2-year deal with a club option, let's say, for year 3. But if he can be that guy, we got somebody that can lead off, and again, very similar to Lawrence Butler as far as how they play, except Cedric Mullins is much better defensively. Both hit with power, both can steal bases, both have huge upsides. If one of them can flip and be that guy, and how about if they both are? What will that do with our offense? What will that do with our team? Yeah, and Denzel Clark is still there. I haven't forgotten about Denzel. The thing about Denzel is for how elite Denzel Clark is defensively. I don't know what he is yet offensively. And that's what worries me. I don't want an automatic out in the order. With that being said, Denzel was okay last year offensively. He held his own. He hit with some power. He got on base. He was able to steal some bases. He was above expectations as far as what I thought offensively he was going to be last year. Can he improve on that? Can Denzel Clark improve on what he was offensively last year? We know what he is defensively. That's not going away. While Cedric Mullins is not on the level defensively as Denzel Clark, Cedric Mullins is still a top 10 outfielder, center fielder in Major League Baseball. He's good. He's really good. In other words, if you go from Denzel, let's say Denzel's not hitting, and you take Mullins out of right field, let's say, and put him in center, you're not losing a whole lot defensively. I don't mind that. The value's there. Now, when you're looking at other outfielders out there to choose from, we need an outfielder. We got to sign an outfielder this offseason. And again, I know I'm asking for a lot of signings this offseason, but I tell you, if there's no better offseason to get this done than this offseason, because of everything that's in doubt with the strike and the player development. The player lockout. Sorry. Other than the fall league, what player development is going on? Is Leo DeVries playing somewhere? There's rumor that he was supposed to play in the Dominican. That hasn't started up yet, though, RD. So I'm not sure what Leo's plans are. I don't think that's been set. With regard to the fall league, they had a few rainouts. Last game was on Friday. I know they're playing tonight. Last time I checked, Muncy was 2 for 2. He's hitting .308. He's doing okay. Again, I think this is their fourth game. Like I said, a few rainouts over the weekend kind of threw that whole pace off. But I do want to talk about free agents. I do want to figure out where we have holes. And another hole we do have is at third base. What third basemen are on the market? What can we afford? And one guy I do like a lot, it's a former A who's sitting with the Reds right now. That's Miguel Andujar. Do we have a shot at him? What are these guys going to cost us? And finally, Do we need a closer, guys? Do we need a closer? Thinking about how well our bullpen did perform towards the end of the year and how it was kind of a close by committee. I don't know. Let's talk about it. Up next. Most people can't name all their financial accounts or even what they are worth, whether it's 401k, properties, or investments. And when you don't have the full picture, you can end up leaving money on the table. That's why there is Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one personal finance tool that brings your entire financial life together in one clean, easy-to-use interface on your laptop or your phone. Monarch is built for people with busy lives. If you have put off organizing your finances, Monarch is for you. Monarch does the heavy lifting for you. You can link all your accounts in minutes, see clear data visuals, get smart categories of your spending, and finally feel in control of your money without ever touching a spreadsheet. You can identify that you are not saving as much as you thought. For me, it's too much money on DoorDash, A's Gear, and streaming services I wasn't even using. Don't let financial opportunity slip through the cracks. Use code LockedOnMLB at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code LockedOnMLB. What do we got here, guys? Thoughts? Moncada. Yes, I like Moncada a lot, Gary. The other guy I was thinking of too was Renifro from Anaheim. I like Moncada. I like both of them. Here's what they're going to be costing you. Moncada is a great one, but we got to look at price, right? It matters with price. So Moncada right now what I use as far as estimating, which is actually a pretty good site, is spottrack.com. They give a player what his projected value will be the next year. It's pretty accurate. It's pretty good. I like it. And let us check out what Moncada, what do they got him making worth? Come on. Anaheim, 30. He's going to be 31 years old in May. He's young. Market value. Oh, I like that actually. Market value only $2 million a year. I like that a lot. So to give you an idea, Gary, market value on a guy like Moncada, $2 million a year. Market value on, for example, someone like Andahar, right? On Miguel Andahar, who can play some outfield and third base, $6.1 million, right? I'd rather get Moncada for $2.1 million than Andahar at $6.1. Yastrzemski, we've heard that name fly around a lot. His market value, $11.3 million per year. So you always got to remember with the A's, you always got to add something to that. That's the market value for like just normal teams with regular ballparks to sign these guys. Now, for example, when I look at someone like Cedric Mullins, his market value is 6.1. So I'm thinking, all right off the bat, the A's are going to have to pay a premium. So, 6.1 probably goes to like 8.5. For example, last year, Severino, market value was $17 million. We had to pay $22 million for him. See what I mean? So you always got to look at that. But I like that. I like Moncada a lot, especially for that price. 1,000%. Good call, man. Maybe someone from the A's is listening, and they'll listen to you. And Gary, maybe you'll get a call. I don't know, maybe. And they'll ask you, say, hey, maybe we'll sign Moncada because of you. Bottom line, listen, I like who we got. But there's too many unknowns in certain positions where I'm a little scared. Muncy, great prospect, had his moments this year, but that's all he is right now. a prospect who has had his great moments. And do I think he'll be that guy? I sure hope so. But how about if he's not? How about if he doesn't work out and Geloff doesn't work out, which is a possibility? I don't think I'm outrageous by saying that. If they don't work out, because right now at second base and at third base, here's what we got. Brett Harris, Max Muncy, Zach Geloff, Darrell Hernandez. Come on. That's not enough there. Now, it is enough if Geloff and Muncy are those guys. That's a big if. Someone like Grisham. Grisham, yes, I like Grisham a lot. I've talked about Grisham. What's Grisham's price tag? Let's get all these price tags. Maybe, hey, like I said, we're going to give the A's the whole Trent Grisham. His value, market value. 12.1 though, RD. For Grisham? I don't want to pay 12.1 million for Grisham. I'd rather pay 6.1 million for Cedric Mullins. Again, that 12.1, right? It's probably like 15 in order for the A's to get him. And for someone like Cedric Mullins, the 6.1 is probably like 8. Bobby, how are you, pal? If you had 30 million and had to invest it in one guy who in free agency who gets that 30 million, are we talking multiple years? Like for example, would 3 years 30 million count, or a 1 year $30 million salary? It has to be a free agent. I couldn't extend the other guys. I'm making this hard. If I had to do it your way, the one guy I would want per year, talking free agency. We're talking free agency journey. We're talking outfielders and third base. Our favorite part. Hey, I'm going to kick back on pitching right now, and I'm going to, maybe in the last segment, we'll cover some relievers. But right now, we're talking second base and outfield. So my idea, Jern, who I want to get, Cedric Mullins. I think we can get Cedric Mullins on the cheap, right? Now, if you're looking at $30 million per year, so that means we'd have to sign him to multiple years, though, right? Who signs a 1 year, $30 million deal? But for your exercise, we're going to go with it. Let's see here. Free agents, MLB 2026. 1 year, huh? That's a tough one. I mean, I guess. Okay, let's see here. What we got? What's up, Sam? We're going free agents. Outfield, third baseman, Sam. I got Cedric Mullins. I want to get Cedric Mullins. You know who else I think is going to be? You know who's opting out, which I kind of think is crazy, is Bregman. You mean someone's going to pay him more than $40 million a year? It's not like Bregman had like a great year. You guys like Bellinger? I don't either. 40 million, man. 30 million for one guy? Jeez. Who would actually sign with us? Imanaga. Shota Imanaga. I would go him. That's who I would go. 1 year. That would actually, now again, there's layers to this, right? Who's going to play? Who's going to sign with the A's, etc. Imanaga, I'll take him over Cease. Valdez, I don't want Valdez. I don't want Valdez from the Astros. I would take a 1-year ace. That's what you're asking. A 1-year ace is what I'd get. I'd get Imanaga. That's my thing. Tyler RD, I used to like Taylor Ward, but didn't pay attention to him last year. I thought you would say Bellinger. We're talking 1 year. I wouldn't know. I don't want Bellinger for that much. In that situation, yeah, if I'm going to sign a pitcher for 1 year, yeah, I would go Imanaga, or I can go Cease. I still think Imanaga is the best pitcher going to be in the market. He has a player option next year. I think he's going to opt out of that. Mullins, I guess I want Muncy not playing third. No. So here's the deal. Here's what I talked about earlier, Journey. Right now, we got second base and third base, right? Second base and third base, we have Muncy, Harris, Geloff, and Hernandez. Here's the issue. Now, this works out perfect if Muncy and Geloff are the guys they can be. The problem with that is Muncy's still 22, 23 years old. We saw glimpses. I think he is going to be the guy. Geloff, we don't know. So those are two ifs. So can you see Muncy and Geloff falling off? Yeah. I think we do need another infielder. I got Yastrzemski on your list too. I took a look at him as well, Jern. Problem with Yastrzemski. Now, what I'm using as far as what I'm estimating these players going for is I'm using Spot Track. Spot Track has Yastrzemski going for $12 million a year, which means the A's would have to fork up about $15 million a year in order to get someone to go to Sacramento and play in a minor league park. Mullins going for $6.1 million a year, which means we could probably get him at like $8.5 million a year. Leo, shortstop or second base, yes. And if he continues the pace he did in Double-A, for sure, 100%, 100%. But we still need somebody else. We can't put all our bags in a 19-year-old. And great, if he's ready, awesome. A 22-year-old, it could work, but I still think we need to sign a veteran infielder. I still think we need one more guy. And let me tell you who we got in the market. Ideally, who I want to get is Miguel Andujar. Miguel Andujar right now, his market value is at $6 million. He could play outfield. He can play third base. You know what we're getting from him at the plate. Injury prone, obviously. But ideally, I want him. I think Yastrzemski is a little too expensive. I'd rather have Cedric Mullins at $6 million than Yastrzemski at $12 million. A few other guys as well. Jesse Winker. I talked about him last offseason. I like him a lot from the Mets. $5.5 million a year. We'll see. I would love to see the A's gamble on Joey Gallo. He would be a Las Vegas hometown hero. I mean, I don't even think he can make the team right now. I mean, if we had a Joey Gallo from 5 years ago at 100% RD, maybe. Well, it doesn't hurt to sign him to a minor league contract. Yeah, you know how I feel about Miguel. Got to take a quick break. When I come back, guys, think about it. Do we need a reliever? Do we need a stopper? Maybe. I'm going to tell you who's on the market when we come back, what they're going for. And hey, I don't know. Or do we still go with that whole thing we had towards the end of the year last year where it was kind of like closed by committee? I'll see you in a minute. The NFL season is here, and FanDuel has an offer you don't want to miss. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if you win. That's right. Pick a bet. Put down $5, and if it hits, you will unlock $300 in bonus bets to use across the app. I love how FanDuel gives me so many ways to play. I've built parlays, tried player props, and even followed the live lines during games. It makes watching football even more exciting when you've got a little something riding on the action, whether you are a casual fan or live diving into the stats. FanDuel makes the game day experience so much better. So what are you waiting for? Visit FanDuel.com to download the FanDuel app today and get started. Would you sign Sonny Gray? Sonny Gray's expensive is the problem. Yes, of course I would, but not for what he wants, though. What is Sonny Gray going for, man? I'll tell you what, Sonny Gray's not cheap. And he's old, too. Sonny Gray. Contract details. Unrestricted. No, he has he's still under contract with St. Louis, though. And he has a club option in 2027. So he's not going to be available. He's expensive too, guys. He's due to make $35 million next year. And then there's a club option for him in 27 for $30 million. Damn, that's a lot of money. He's not cheap. Not at that price, Bobby. Not at that price. Like in R2, a much better third baseman. Me too, man. Me too. I was like, once he started playing third base, and everybody was saying, move him to third base, move him to third base. I'm like, dude, they haven't even given him reps at third base. He can't even play it. And they finally stuck him at third base in that game at Texas. And he looked all right. His first play, though, I think he made an E. And then he was fine after that. Sure, Mullins, cheaper than Yaz, then I'd be okay. Half the price. Then I'd be okay with that. Probably need some pen, which everyone shakes up every year. I want a starter more than anything. Yeah. I think at the end of the day, Joe Jern, we're just going to have to gamble with what we have in our starters. I don't mind our rotation right now. I don't mind what we have in our starting. And I knew you were going to get me back on pitching. I don't mind our starting rotation right now. I don't mind when you're looking at Severino, Springs, Lopez, Morales. Those four are going to get that. The fifth spot, if my man Jack Perkins gets it going, did you guys watch that episode with him last night? There's my guy, Jack Perkins. Hey, first A's to come on the show. You think I'm going to have him as our one starter here in a minute. But I hope Jack Perkins gets that fifth start. I will agree with you here, though, Jern. I don't think we have much depth with regard to starting pitching. You know who does want to start next year, though, is Newcomb. Newcomb wants to be a starter, which I don't know. And ours do. He's always injured. He's always 50. Yeah, I know. I get it. You out on Durant now? Perk was great. No, I want Durant. I would love Durant, and I still like that trade. The way everyone was acting, it was like it wasn't enough what we were giving up. If we could somehow pull off a trade with Boston for Durant, sure, I would love that. But I don't think we're going to be. I don't think we have enough to give up for something like Durant. You know what I mean? We don't have an asset I'm willing to give up. I'm not willing to give up like a prospect for Jared Duran, like a Henry Bolte. That's the only prospect right now that we have that is him. For me, everyone's different on it. It's Net, and for me, it's Braden Net and Henry Bolte are the only prospects I feel I would give up if we get a lot back. I don't know. Fifth spot, Max Scherzer. We need a Hall of Fame pitcher. You think Max Scherzer is going to come to Sacramento at 40 years old? First of all, so Bob, you were asking $30 million. Like Scherzer would want like $18 million for 1 year. He ain't going to be cheap. Not to come to Sacramento. You think I want Severino and Scherzer in the same rotation, complaining about that mound every fifth day? I don't know. Will Jump play in the major leagues? I tell you what's going to happen. Jump, Braden Net, and Jamie Arnold. No, Jamie Arnold will start lower. Jump and Braden Net will start in AAA. That will happen. And if RD, if they deal, yeah, they'll be up. They'll be up before the All-Star break, depending on what the rest of the rotation's doing. But they'll start next year in AAA. I'll be surprised if both don't. Just trade for Scooble. You want DeVries, Jump, Jamie Arnold. I wish. That'd be nice. Scooble something, man. Hey, the Dodgers are showing you what it's all about right now with pitching. So, hey, what's up? Timmy, how are you, pal? Good to see you, bud. How's everything, man? So, free agents. All right. This is who I like, guys. Let me ask you a question, though. Here's, you guys talked about before Sean Armstrong from Texas, right? All right. So I'll tell you what he's going for right now. I like Armstrong. Let's see what we got here. Is he even a free agent? Hang on. Armstrong. Jack Armstrong. Sorry. Sean, what are we talking about? Jack Armstrong from Texas, right? Yeah. Come on. I'm slow these days. I can't find it from right decision. MLB 2025. I want to know what we do need a reliever for sure. Without a doubt. And I can't find him. There, Sean Armstrong. I was right. Okay, here's what he got as far as his market value. $4 million. That means $4 million. Sean Armstrong. We'd have to get him probably 3 years, $19.5 million. Would you guys do that? He'd have to be our closer. All he was last year was a setup man. He's 35 years old. Leclerc does owe us a year. I don't think he's going to do it for free, though, RD. I am late. Of course, we talked about Andahar again. Who we don't got one right now. We're talking closer right now. Bednar's going to be expensive. We can't afford him. Evan Phillips. That's interesting. Remember Evan Phillips from the Dodgers? I wouldn't mind him. There's no one really like that. Trinan? No. Chapman's not going to come. AJ Puck? Strom from the Phillies? Vesia? There's nothing nothing too intriguing. Not spending a dime on the pen. I thought Journey, I thought you wanted, what's his name? You wanted, what's his name? The kid from the Mets. The lefty from the Mets out of the pen. You wanted him. Don't tell me that. I don't see his name right. I forgot his name. You know who I'm talking about. The lefty for the Mets out of the bullpen. You were talking about him a lot. That was your guy. Right now, I've been saying this for a while. I'm high on Hogan Harris. Give Hogan Harris a shot. I'm with you on that situation. I don't want to spend too much out of the pen. There doesn't look like to be one dominant closer that's going to be a free agent. Plus, is there really going to be somebody that we can legitimately say without a doubt that's better than what we already have? I don't know. So I'm not going to go that route. I'm with you there, Journey. I agree with you. Wouldn't it be great when Las Vegas starts making money for the team and we have a big market payroll? Sandy Deed says that's the plan. Hey, please, RD, please. I hope that's the case. I can't hear another Bay Area guy talk about how we don't spend because I can't say anything. For being an A's fan for as long as I have, it's one point I can't argue. Now, we can go into discussion after discussion on why they didn't spend, but they haven't spent. And I have to hear that. So I am hoping you're right. I'm hoping you're right because I'm tired. It's the only point I cannot defend. I can't defend it. How do you defend it? Gary Armstrong is 235. Yeah, 35. Estimated to make $4.5 million next year means the A's would have to sign him at like $6.5 million, and probably have to be a multi-year deal attached to that. I agree with you. I didn't realize he was that old. He's gonna be 36 years old in camp next year. But yeah, man, RD, I'm with you. It's the only thing I can't defend. We haven't spent. And that's why I'm very anxious for this offseason. Because there's an opportunity to spend this offseason. And I get we haven't made money yet. Still, there's a potential lockup in 27. And I don't know. A little nervous for this offseason. Because there's no better opportunity to spend. But it's complete. With that being said, it's completely against Fisher's business model. He doesn't do it this way. He wants to make money off the gate, spend based on the profitability, which there hasn't been much, etc. This time he needs to go into his pocket. I think it's worth it to do so. He has to. Because we need to grow something and market something for Vegas to see. And is there anything better than Kurtz, Wilson, Soderstrom? No. I heard Samson talk about the new stadium, some new article about it. Casino needs to buy boxes, but casinos are crashing lately, apparently. As far as I saw that too. As far as funding, guys, for the stadium and financing, it's done. It's all there. We just gotta look. It's there. I've done a lot of shows on it. The money's there. It's 1,000%. The only way it won't get paid for is if Fisher decides he doesn't want to pay for it. That's the only way. He doesn't need investors. He doesn't need to sell the Earthquakes. He doesn't need to tap into his other businesses. He doesn't need to have naming rights. He doesn't need to do any of it. And he still has more in place to cover the stadium if it even went up to $2.5-3 billion. That's no doubt. The only way it won't happen is if he is not willing to write a check. That's it. I don't know what Samson was talking about. What's going on with Bally's and everything else around the stadium has nothing to do with the A's. I saw that same thing with regard to Samson. I don't know. What about Luke Weaver? I wouldn't mind taking a shot on that. Yeah. Absolutely. The thing with that, though, Gary, is like, okay, are they going to cost us anything, though, right? I mean, is the Luke Weaver going to come over on let's say a 2-year, $7 million deal, $6 million deal? Or does he want something more? Way above. That's the whole thing. But I'm kind of with Journey on a little bit. I don't want to spend a lot on a bullpen. I wouldn't mind a lefty specialist. And is Newcomb only going to re-sign if he gets a shot at being a starting pitcher? He did start for the A's for a little bit. Gambling revenue is up 5.5% in spite of tourism being down. It is true. So RD, gambling's up, but the amount of players that are playing are down. Is that correct? So casinos are doing fine. I mean, I think they've taken a little bit of a strategy as far as just room revenue But I don't think there's any issue with what Vegas is doing and not doing. And I think everything's just kind of circular. So I think they'll be fine. If Fisher were to change his mind, yeah, no, I know. I'm not saying, I'm just playing devil's advocate, RD. I'm just playing devil. My point being is he has plenty of money. There's no chance that happens. But again, when the Bay Area folks, they pin you out, they say, hey, well, he hasn't. Yeah, there's always a possibility of something. Yeah. I mean, there's always something that could happen. Yeah, right. But as far as what's in his bank account and the financing is 1,000% there. It's one thing I don't understand with all these things with regard to the media and what they've covered. One thing you can't dispute and talk about is a few things that bother me about the A's, which Fisher puts us in a position of doing is the Sacramento name, obviously. The investing in the past, all that stuff. I don't know what lefty you're talking about from the Mets. I don't want to. I'm going to tell you what you're talking about. Forget it. It's going to come to my mind in a second. I want to know what I'm talking about too. Hang on. I'm going to tell you. Exactly. Why don't I remember? I should know off the top of my head, but I don't. That's the way it just goes. All right. It was lefty Soto, Gregory Soto, Journey Soto. You wanted Soto. You wanted Gregory Soto. The gaming revenue is up. People get paid millions to speculate or signing off on new mega. Listen, I'm not arguing. They're going to be fine. There's no question. They're going to be in Oakland, in Vegas in 2028. No question about it. I want the A's to sign Kurtz and Wilson to extensions. I want those years bought out. I want a fan base to start to get excited about the A's and what they have. And I'm tired of the stereotype with regard to the A's and not retaining players. I want that to end. I'm tired of hearing it. Sick and tired of it. They have to do that. They need to do that. I want to get rid of that stereotype. No matter what anybody says, it's there. It's been there. And you can't argue against that. But there's an opportunity this year. They have the players to extend and to buy out the arbitration years like the Braves have done, like the Red Sox have done with Anthony, so forth. I want that to be done. I want a solid fan base to be built in Nevada that people can get excited about. That's what I want. That's my goal. That's all I want this offseason. I'm sick and tired of hearing the noise. I'll tell you that. Sick and tired of it. Wearing on me. It's wearing on me, RD. But it's an exciting squad. Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins, for the price he's asking for, I would like to take that look. We have money to spend. This offseason is going to be interesting, fellas. It's going to be interesting. And I hope we do it right. I hope we do it right. Soto. Yeah, Soto's... No, I don't think he's going to be that expensive. Let's see what he's at. It's a good question. I'm interested. Market value on... Yeah, probably right. So $7 million on Spot Track, which means probably $10 million a year in order to entice him to come to the A's. Yeah, good call. Good call. Yeah, $10 million. Yeah, that's expensive, huh? Jesus, that's expensive. But Minter. Yeah, let's check out what he's at. Good call. Or my Minter. AJ Minter. I like AJ. What's he at? No, he's not going to be. He has a player option. Nah, he's not opting out. Player option for 2026. $11 million a year. That's a lot, man. I guess that's just what it is. How much you want to pay for a master? How How much do you want to pay for Leclerc? How much you want to pay for Leclerc? How much you want to pay? Jeez, man. Hey, you know what? Maybe way too much for a pen arm, Jern. Way too much. Maybe we get like Leclerc. You know what? It wouldn't hurt if Leclerc gets no bites. Hey, sign him to a minor league deal. Why not? Maybe he can get back some of his past. Bag of balls. Yeah, maybe. But hey, guys, the Vegas renderings with regard to Bally's looks awesome. That's going to be pretty sweet. That's supposed to be ready in 2029. That's supposed to be ready in March 2029. So things in Vegas are moving along nicely. It's exciting. I want to put a competitive team on the field next year. I want to lock up a couple of these guys. As a lifelong A's fan, I don't think I'm asking for a whole lot. I'm not asking for a lot. I don't think I am. And, we'll see what happens. Appreciate you guys. And, I will check you guys out tomorrow. And we'll go from there. Thank you for making Locked On A's your first listen every day. For your second listen, find the all-night Locked On MLB Game Night every game, every night until a World Series champion is crowned. Get local analysis on a national scale. Find MLB Game Night on Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcast. RD, thank you, pal. Means a lot, man. Hey, thank you for always watching. Thank you guys for always watching, hanging out during the offseason. And like I said, guys, if there's any particular content you guys want to see this offseason, let me know. I will try and get more players and more people from the A's organization here. But as you know, I've burnt a lot of bridges this last year, being 100% unfiltered and all that stuff. It has its price. I've kind of pissed just about everybody off. So I will do what I can. Now, you're awesome, RD. I appreciate you. So more free agency talk. All right. You know what I'll do? I'll get it a little bit more organized. I think I'm just throwing names out there because that's kind of actually what's fun to do, but I want to get it a little bit more organized. Ron Futrell, good call. And are you guys able to see the thing on Cox cable channel? What is it? 77. I still haven't seen an episode. Don't know how it's coming across. So anyway, but I'll get Ron back on. We'll get everything exciting. I'll get more free agency talk. I'll get a little bit more organized with regard to the free agency, what's going to cost, the payroll, get it all figured out. Tomorrow and on Friday, got a guy, Dr. Death, big Raiders fan from Sacramento. Huge opposition towards the A's moving, critical. We had a good conversation the other night, recorded. So it should be part 1 tomorrow night and part 2 on Friday night. So anyway, I was on the Damon. So I don't know if you guys have seen the Damon Amendola, the 3-part thing. I'm supposed to be part 3 on that. And he did Brody Brazil with Oakland. He did Carmichael Dave with Sacramento. And then I was the 3rd part of that. We recorded that a couple nights ago. It should air on Thursday or Friday. It was it was heated, but it was good. We were supposed to talk for about 15, 20 minutes. Ended up talking for about almost an hour. Duntov would be great. I'd love Duntov. Leo playing winter ball. Don't know yet if he's going to head his way back to Arizona Fall League towards the end of it or head to the Dominican. Don't know yet. Once I hear Journey, I'll let you know. I've been following that. I haven't heard any news lately, but I've been as curious as you are with regard to DeVries. I would love Duntov. If you could do that, that'd be awesome. Damon, a.k.a. large mouth bastard, right? All right, guys. You guys take care. Appreciate you guys all.